The day Lucy won Best Actress. I sat in the audience, holding her trophy. Her smile showed none of the vulnerability from 5 years ago when she first came to me. For this honor, I want to thank Ben, my Mr. Taylor. Her Mr. Taylor wasn't me. Every head in the auditorium turned toward me with pitying stares the moment she spoke. They all knew Lucy's success had been built on my relentless efforts. I smiled silently and began clapping first. The girl who'd lived in my heart since she was 16 had finally vanished. Her award coincided with her 29th birthday. While not exactly a prodigy's achievement in Hollywood terms, Lucy had entered the industry late, only filming her first movie 3 years prior, the film I personally crafted for her. Over those years, I'd painstakingly elevated her to box office royalty, casting her as lead in every picture I directed. My unwavering favoritism cost me countless professional relationships, but I didn't care. Watching her now in champagne silk under the spotlight, my mind drifted to that rainy night 3 years ago. At 27, I was already celebrated as Hollywood's most visionary director, my name synonymous with cinematic excellence. Few knew I'd entered this world for one reason: Lucy. When she appeared at my doorstep drenched that night, my calm exterior barely contained the storm inside. Shivering on my steps, rainwater tracing her collarbones, she met my gaze. "Director Alex, I heard you're casting for your new film. I may be unknown, but I've studied every frame of your work. Please let me audition." I draped my coat over her trembling shoulders. "No audition needed. The role is yours." Her stunned expression melted into radiant joy, mirroring that life-altering summer day when 16-year-old Lucy stood among white doves, rewriting my ordinary existence. My confidence stemmed from simple truth. Every heroine I'd ever written carried Lucy's essence. For 3 years, I burned through sleepless nights, channeling my creativity solely to crown her with this very trophy. Earlier tonight, she'd whispered about a special surprise if she won. On the massive screen, Lucy's flawless features glowed. Born to dazzle, born to destroy. To my fans who made this possible, her voice caught. For one breathless moment, I swore our eyes locked across the crowded room. The person I must thank. Her words merged with my pounding heartbeat, drowning out all else. Those crimson lips shaped my execution. Ben, my Mr. Taylor. Ben Taylor, the washed-up leading man from last decade. I caught Lucy's smirk as my spine crumbled against the seat. Not me. Never me. The auditorium's vastness pressed inward, every mocking stare etching my humiliation. Their 3 years of envy now curdled into vindictive glee. I smiled at my phone's lock screen. That white, sundress girl from better days. Congratulations. My solitary clap ignited thunderous applause. Ben ascended the stage under follow spots, lifting Lucy's trophy with proprietary ease. "You earned this," he told her, hand lingering on hers. I could already envision tonight's social media frenzy celebrating cinema's new golden couple. My masterpiece stood complete, the ultimate tragedy starring Lucy, with my heart as collateral damage. Match made in heaven. Golden couple. Or power alliance. Regardless, it has nothing to do with me. I suppose Lucy no longer needs my protection. I stood up, quietly moving toward the side exit while everyone's attention remained fixed on the pair. The host's voice froze me mid-step. As we all know, every film Lucy has starred in since her debut has been directed by Alex. Is there a special story behind this collaboration? I turned to meet Lucy's gaze across the room. For 3 years, everyone who met me had speculated about my relationship with Lucy, but I'd always deflected with vague jokes. As a rising star, neither romance nor scandals would benefit her career, especially not rumors involving her director. I'd seen enough in Hollywood to know how tabloids would spin an actor-director connection. Such sensationalism should never touch Lucy. I expected her to give the usual diplomatic response. But shockingly, she chose to fuel the speculation. When I first met Alex, he told me the female lead in his script was written specifically for me. After our initial collaboration, he's offered me every subsequent project. He's been like a mentor, so I've never declined. Lucy's calm tone sent chills through me. The girl who'd once clutched my hand begging for help seemed to have vanished completely. Ben seized the moment to add, Lucy's talent and looks naturally attract directors' attention. But I hope certain individuals won't exploit past favors to repeatedly pressure her. His pointed remark barely concealed the accusation that I'd been using Lucy for publicity. This twisted narrative ignored reality. I'd not only paid Lucy standard rates from the beginning, but given her 30% bonuses for our first 2 collaborations when she was unknown. Now they framed professional fairness as manipulation. Clenching my fists, I felt my pulse rage while Lucy stared down at me with that icy, contemptuous gaze. What right did she have? Knowing this wasn't the time for defense, I strode out. Social media exploded. Lucy and Ben's fans rallied behind them, while rational netizens tried defending me. But as a director, my smaller following quickly drowned in the storm. Tabloids ran wild, some claiming my films were worthless without Lucy. Fuming, I prepared to post our preserved chat histories exposing the truth. But Lucy called before I could publish. Alex, stay silent about tonight's events. Why should I? Or I'll tell the press you killed your brother. Her emotionless words pierced like an arrow, leaving a gaping wound where cold reality rushed in. The girl I'd adored since 16 had become my executioner. What gives you the right? My voice shook. My pain elicited no mercy. You owe me this. Owe her. The only debt I carried was to my brother. The dial tone echoed as I pressed my forehead against the window. My twin brother died when I was 13, born with congenital heart disease. I'd been abandoned at an orphanage. We only discovered each other at 8 when he found me. Our secret meetings became my solace. He filled the family, shaped hole in my life. After abandoning me, our parents fought constantly before divorcing. He lived unhappily with our remarried mother. On my 13th birthday, he promised to give me all his future gifts, saying I deserved them more. That was our last conversation. That day, I waited endlessly but never saw him. Heavy snow blanketed the entire city. Following the route etched in my memory and the address my older brother had mentioned, I trudged through snow, clogged streets only to witness horrifying crimson staining the white expanse. Blood. My brother lay collapsed on the ground, a basketball rolling beside him. Afterward, Mother took me in but descended into madness from grief. She often called me by my brother's name. I never corrected her. She divorced that man. Strangely, my congenital heart condition vanished after my brother's death. He'd willed me his heart. In his final moments, my brother clutched my hand, apologizing for years of suffering he'd failed to prevent. Yet he was the only one who never wronged me. After middle school, I left everything behind. That's where I met Lucy. She probably doesn't remember, some random boy from a fleeting sidewalk encounter. But I remember everything, her dancing among white doves, radiant laughter illuminating the square, sunlit features glowing, and the small daisy she'd placed beside me. Are you my fan? Don't be sad. Getting flowers from your idol should make you smile. Lucy poked my cheeks upward, forcing a grin. I stared transfixed, finally understanding my brother's tales of angels. Alex, what about tonight's situation? My assistant's voice shattered the memory. I opened my eyes to my darkened phone screen. People talk about first loves. Lucy was indeed mine. Now, she's nothing. I glanced at moonless skies and hit send. By the time I got home, Lucy had bombarded my phone. When I ignored calls, frantic messages flooded in. Alex, what does this mean? Answer me. Explain yourself. Alex, please respond. Don't you love me anymore? You promised to always be my biggest fan. I muted her notifications and opened Twitter. My article trended #1. Though Lucy's fans raged in the comments, rational voices prevailed. So Lucy wants to have her cake and eat it too? Using people then kicking them aside? Ben better watch out. Ben's no saint either. Our brother was deceived. Feel bad for director Alex. Love addiction ruins lives. I chuckled at the last comment. They were right. Thankfully, I'm cured now. The doorbell rang. Only one person would come this late. Opening the door, I almost laughed at Lucy's furious expression. During our first 2 reconnected years, she'd never looked at me this way, always maintaining that gentle, luminous persona. When did it change? Probably when social media started buzzing about Lucy thriving without Alex's influence. She began resenting my guidance, chafing at suggestions, eventually screaming insults during arguments. I'd always end up apologizing. Alex, how dare you? Lucy shoved my shoulder. I leaned against the doorframe, watching Lucy coldly as I let out a mocking laugh. What do I mean? I repeated, my voice sharp. Lucy, you slandered me. Am I not allowed to defend myself? They deserve to know the truth. The truth? Her face twisted viciously. You just want to destroy me. This is about Ben going public with me, isn't it? You're jealous. Alex, I'm nothing but your puppet. Every kindness you've shown me was just because of her. Her words made me pause. Her? Who was she talking about? Seeing my silence, Lucy lifted her chin triumphantly. Got you, didn't I? Her laughter held ice. That girl in the white dress from your photo album, she's your real lover, isn't she? You only treated me well because I look like her, using me as some pathetic replacement in this day and age. You disgust me. Tears shimmered in her eyes as she gestured toward my bedroom. The framed photo she referenced showed a sun-drenched silhouette, the face obscured by backlighting. This bizarre misunderstanding threatened to unravel years of work, my carefully built reputation, the films I'd poured my soul into, the entire world I'd created. It seemed the one that got away should have stayed buried in memories. Fine. Lucy, consider this me misjudging your character. I shut the door against her escalating curses. By midnight, our recorded confrontation trended online. Edited clips showcased her trembling voice. I shouldn't have said those things. But the pain. The person I trusted most saw me as a shadow. The court of public opinion shifted rapidly. Outrage at her ingratitude transformed into sympathy for the wronged replacement. Anyone mentioning Lucy's career benefits from our association got shouted down with cries about a young woman's shattered heart. I silenced my buzzing phone. Its screen flooded with frantic messages. Exhaustion weighted my bones as I collapsed onto the bed, slipping into the first deep sleep in months. My brother visited my dreams. Though we shared identical features, no one ever confused us. His perpetual smile defied every hardship, even death itself. I relived his final moments, bloodied fingers brushing my hair as he whispered, "Live well, Alex, live fully." The dream shifted to our first meeting, a park bench, my threadbare clothes flapping in the wind as I watched a laughing family. He appeared like a mirage made flesh. Well, dressed yet kneeling eye, level with this grubby stranger. Your name? He'd asked, certainty ringing through. I think I'm your brother. Later, he'd explained recognizing me as an abandoned cub needing protection. Sunrise found me gasping awake, phantom bloodstains fading as reality reasserted itself. My phone screen blinked with urgent notifications. Atop the message list glowed Lucy's final dagger. Alex, you forced this. Lucy, will never be anyone's stand-in. The bitter truth crystallized, every step meticulously planned. 3 months ago, Lucy joined a variety show and met Ben. After that, She gradually distanced herself from me. I had wondered why, but my childhood in the orphanage made it difficult to confront others openly. Now I realized she must have seen the photos in my album. She never asked, and I never explained. I kept thinking the past was behind us, and having Lucy by my side now was enough. I was wrong. I told my assistant to schedule a press conference in 3 days to end this absurd spectacle. Most likely, this would also conclude my career. I needed time off to travel the world with this heart, as my brother wished. Unexpectedly, Ben called, insisting we talk. Truthfully, I saw no reason to converse with Ben. Before all this, he was just another famous actor in my mind. Yet his persistence wore me down, and I reluctantly agreed to meet. Ben chose an exclusive private dining venue. When I entered the VIP room, he already occupied the head seat. Upon seeing me, he flashed the polished industry standard smile I detested most in Hollywood. Apologies for the paparazzi tailing me. You don't mind, do you, Alex? I shook my head. Given Ben's fame, ordinary restaurants weren't feasible. Why did you want to meet? He crossed his legs, leaning back with half-lidded eyes. I know Alex's so-called first love is Lucy. My fingers twitched. I'd anticipated many topics for this conversation, but not this. Get to the point. My casual demeanor vanished as I studied him. Time had sanded away any boyishness, leaving a man as steady as aged whiskey, complex and intimidating. Those fathomless eyes chilled me to the core. Relax, Alex. Lucy's promising, beautiful, young, and crucially, naive. His bluntness stung. Under my protection these 3 years, she'd remained untouched by the industry's seedy underbelly. Purity lets directors project any role onto her. That's true artistry. Ben chuckled. So I chose her. Dread coiled in my gut. What are you planning? I'm not getting younger. Alex, you know how quickly Hollywood replaces its stars, using actresses to maintain relevance and manipulate fan emotions? Standard practice. His tone stayed conversational, each word scalding. Pity Lucy's so stubbornly devoted to you. Extreme measures became necessary to uproot that attachment. My throat tightened, fists clenching on my knees. You engineered her misunderstanding. His raised eyebrow confirmed everything. I surged forward, hauling him up by the collar. I can accept Lucy hating me over misunderstandings, even her loving someone else. But I won't let you turn her into your puppet, a plaything to control. Are you insane? She's a human being. And Ben's smile widened, devoid of remorse. Assisting me is her privilege. My free hand swung toward his face when the door burst open. Stop. Alex, what are you doing? Lucy pushed my body away and shielded Ben behind her. Her beautiful, stubborn face tilted up to meet my gaze, eyes blazing with fury. Lucy, let me explain. This man is lying to you. You're the one who's been lying. She spat. You wrote that woman into your script and made me play her. Alex, you disgust me. The words died in my throat. The sheer loathing in Lucy's voice left me speechless. Ben, are you okay? I'm fine. I'm sorry for meeting him behind your back. I thought I could convince him to apologize. Ben had dropped his usual smile, now clinging to Lucy's sleeve like a wounded puppy. Let's go. Silly. She protectively guided Ben past me. I grabbed her wrist. Lucy, what if I told you it's always been you? She didn't pause, laughing bitterly. Alex, do you think I'm stupid? If it were me, why didn't you say so earlier? Her warmth faded from my palm as she left with Ben. Why didn't you tell her? Because back then, I'd been too pathetic. I wanted Lucy to remember me at my best, successful, accomplished, not the broken version drowning in failure. Now it might be too late. Lucy seemed determined to retaliate for my near violence against Ben. Tabloids exploded with exposes about my childhood, orphanage upbringing, petty thefts for survival. even accusations that I'd caused my brother's death. My assistant glared at his phone, muttering curses he thought I couldn't hear. He feared these comments would hurt me, but I'd already seen everything. Just curse out loud. No use bottling it up. He set down his phone with a sigh. Alex, are you really quitting filmmaking? I swirled my red wine, slouching deeper into the couch. The money I've made lasts 3 lifetimes. No more films. I need to experience life instead. Creating movies is about output. And these past 3 years, I've got nothing left to give. He opened his mouth, but stayed silent. When I turned, I caught the glimmer in his eyes. Why the tears? He scrubbed his face roughly. Nothing. Just it's such a waste. You loved filmmaking so much. And after everything you did for Lucy these 3 years, she still. His voice trailed off. I stared at the liquid rippling in my glass. Do I regret sacrificing for Lucy? Truthfully, no. Consider it payment for youthful dreams. Besides, without Lucy, I'd never have entered the entertainment industry or become a director. All because a little girl once declared she'd stand before cameras and make the world adore her. The press conference hall overflowed with journalists hungry for headlines, though a few genuine fans lingered. Sitting on stage, I suddenly found the sea of faces absurd. 16-year-old me could never have imagined this. In a way, I should thank Lucy. She helped me discover my passion and showed the world Alex. You're all here for the recent Twitter controversies. I began. First, I don't have a first love. If anything, it's 16-year-old Lucy. I projected the restored photo of her teenage self onto the giant screen. The room fell deathly quiet. Perhaps it was because even they found it unbelievable. I lowered my eyelids and recounted every moment of how I came to know Lucy. This included matters about my brother, things I desperately tried to conceal before, yet now flowed from my lips with unexpected ease. I became a director because of Lucy. All those years, I dreamed of making her the heroine of my lens. People often said Lucy looked most radiant in my films, unaware that every script I wrote, every female protagonist I crafted, bore her essence. But when she finally stepped before my camera, the woman I captured no longer resembled the muse I'd cherished. The flickering camera lights danced across my vision as I smiled brightly. The heart beating in my chest was my brother's legacy. He once wished for me to live an extraordinary life. Before 30, I existed for Lucy and cinema. Now, I'll live for myself, for this borrowed heartbeat. No more films. My leading lady is gone. The flashes ceased abruptly. Below the stage, fans wept openly, though I owed them apologies. This choice was inevitable. Alex. Lucy's trembling voice pierced the sudden silence. I didn't know when she'd arrived or how much she'd heard. Not that it mattered anymore. My gaze brushed over her for mere seconds before I addressed the remaining journalists. Bowing deeply, thank you all for these years. Until we meet again. Backstage footsteps echoed as Lucy's desperate calls followed me. I didn't pause. There was no reason left. She intercepted me at the car door, fingers digging into my arm. Her red-rimmed eyes betrayed recent tears. Why didn't you tell me? I gently extracted myself. Was it necessary? Besides, didn't I confess everything that night in the private room? Her unspoken accusations died as lips quivered. Hope flickered across her face. Alex, I've changed. Let's start over. I'll be your leading lady again. Okay. Years ago, I might have believed this stemmed from affection. Now, I couldn't discern whether she wanted me or the prestige my films offered. I can't capture your beauty anymore. Lucy, only the girl you were at 16 remains in my lens. The car pulled away despite her fists pounding the windows. The press conference detonated across social media. Twitter trends overflowed with our names. Outraged netizens demanded Ben distance himself from Lucy. I nearly forgot, after her previous recording scandal. Did they think I'd meet Ben unprepared? My final tweet quoted our private conversation verbatim. The outcry silenced instantly. Onlookers joked about divine partnerships, but none of it concerned me. A Tibet-bound ticket burned in my pocket, my compass toward freedom. Dawn revealed Lucy crouched outside my door. Eyes bloodshot. She staggered upright, pale from hypoglycemia. I remained motionless as she steadied herself against the wall. Where are you going? What's that to you? I had never spoken to Lucy in such a frigid tone before. She pressed her lips together, still visibly unaccustomed to this dynamic. Alex, must you be like this? We didn't have to end up here. Lucy's self-righteous demeanor nearly made me laugh bitterly. You're the one who brought us here, aren't you? Lucy, I don't regret meeting you or supporting you these 3 years. But even an infant would have learned to walk independently by now. You can't keep leeching off me forever. Her face drained of color as she shook her head frantically. That's not true. Alex, I did it all because I loved you. The anger, the resentment, it all came from love. Love? Perhaps there had been some. But when affection becomes entangled with self-interest, it ceases to exist. What about Ben then? Lucy demanded urgently. That was just to provoke you. I studied the face that once haunted my dreams, now stripped of its former allure. I believe you loved me once, Lucy, but we can't erase what's happened. We both knew Ben's lies were transparent, yet you chose to believe him without even questioning me. That's not love. There wasn't even basic trust. You simply panicked while trying to escape my influence, taking the wrong path in your haste. I walked away with my suitcase, ignoring her pleading expression. Later, I heard Lucy collapsed at the airport from low blood sugar after waiting endlessly. Some found it romantic. Others thought it performative. None of it concerned me anymore. Traveling across continents, I sketched landscapes and tattooed my brother's portrait over my heart. The entertainment industry felt like a past life, though my assistant still updates me on Lucy and Ben's trajectories. Ben now plays paternal roles instead of leading men. His past scandals resurrected as internet memes. Lucy remains screen-bound, but without my scripts and direction. Her acclaimed acting skills proved mediocre. The years-etched lines even her filters can't conceal. She pinned my name atop her Twitter profile like some lovesick teenager. But few bought the act. When I returned to the city after a year, fate brought me to her film set. The director, an old acquaintance, invited me to observe. Lucy played a minor character getting slapped repeatedly by a young lead actress. The 20-something star kept flubbing takes, clearly targeting Lucy. She's your fan, the director whispered. Always hated Lucy. I smiled but stayed silent. Departing the set, I spotted Lucy hunched over near a production assistant. Her white dress smudged and wrinkled. The wind whipped through her hair as our eyes met. Her expression froze mid-plea. I simply waved. First loves are like that. Even the real person can't compete with the memory. The girl I knew died at 16 that year.